thank you for tuning in to Jakarta Group News Channel. President Joko Widodo is personally leading the transformation into digital era through his robust approach to global technological and social media firms on the back of the integrated economy in the region. This means we're looking into trends shape-shifting and completely changing to adjust to the inevitable digital revolution and transformation. On the perspective with me today is Hubert Yoshida, the Vice President and Global CTO for Hitachi Data Systems. He's here today on the perspective to share with us the IT trends for 2016. Now, I'm just simplifying that intro over there, Hugh. Thank you for making your way here to the Jakarta Group News Channel studio. So tell us, what are the main findings or the key messages of the IT trends for 2016?
Well, it's all around digital transformation. I mean, there's some very disruptive trends happening in the industry. And we have the traditional IT, and they also have to step up and be more like the startups. Okay. So, for instance, to give you an example of some of the way businesses are impacted, we have in the hospitality business, we have Marriott, a company since 1927, about 25 billion in revenue. Okay, and now they have in their IT staff around 1,000 people, to be typical for a company that size. They're competing now with a software company called Airbnb.
Yeah.
Okay, familiar
that
with
has
that?
hundreds of thousands of rooms all over the world.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they don't own the rooms.
Yeah.
Right. That's the new model.
Yeah.
So for Airbnb, they have no IT, no data center.
Right.
Their IT is in the cloud.
Yeah.
So in 2013, when I saw their presentation, they said they had 5 people in IT, and they were mostly just brokers of services.
Right.
So everything is in the cloud. So example of what this does for them, in the United States, President Obama last year started to lift the embargo against Cuba. There was a over 50-year embargo against Cuba.
Okay.
So once he lifted that embargo, there was a tremendous demand for for lodgings in Cuba.
There's tourism pouring in.
Tourism,
Cuba,
but also expats who haven't seen their families in 50 years, and friends. Businesses, people want to start businesses there.
Correct.
So by April, Airbnb was booking rooms in Cuba. Now, Marriott is not there yet.
Yeah.
It will take some time for Marriott to go there.
Yeah.
Now, let's say that Marriott does go to Cuba and invests and builds hotels, and then the political situation in the United States changes. You know, we're facing an election. So there's one candidate that would like to build a wall around the United States, and maybe that embargo is reimposed. Right?
Okay.
So, and if that embargo is reimposed, what happens to Marriott? Okay, they have hundreds of millions of dollars locked up in Cuba.
Yeah.
What happens to Airbnb? Airbnb shuts down their website.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the rewards and risks and the agility that comes about from this using the digital transformation. The new types of things like the cloud, analytics, social, and mobile. Okay.
But when you talk about shutdown, though, for the likes of Marriott, it's more the physical shutdown because they have all the buildings,
That's right.
they layoffs. But for Airbnb, it's sort of a small cluster in the cloud that they are shutting down.
That's
like,
right.
for instance,
That's right.
just the Cuba room that they're shutting down.
Yeah, it's wherever they have their website.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's kind of the big difference here. But there are 3 things that are happening here. Okay. The first thing is the technology. That's the ability to have social connect to customers. There is the mobile, for the mobile phones.
Yeah.
And then there is the what we say the analytics and the cloud provisioning all this. So these are the technology things. But there are many companies that also do bookings of rooms online.
Yeah.
Okay, there's HomeAway.com. There's Craigslist in the U.S. And none of them are as successful as Airbnb. So Airbnb, the founders there, the people there are innovating by using technology. Okay, they're doing things like they have insurance for liability. Okay, they have a concierge level where the refrigerator is stocked with sports drinks and things like that. So they're doing innovative things to attract more people to these properties.
Through technology.
Okay. Yeah, so technology alone does not make success.
Right.
You have to have people who are innovative to be able to use that in an innovative way.
Yeah.
And the third thing, which is probably the most important thing, is that the users are now, consumers now empowered. Okay, they call them prosumers, right? Because
this is what you call the prosumers.
yes. So instead of going to Marriott paying a standard rate for a room,
Yeah.
wherever a hotel is, they can go on the internet and they can find any room, a house, a flat.
Right.
We had the Super Bowl in Santa Clara recently, and they're even renting houseboats.
Yeah.
Okay, so they have a choice now, and they can pay whatever they want. Now,
It's almost unlimited, isn't it? when it's out
unlimited,
there?
yes. Now, for myself, maybe it's my generation, but I would not like to be staying in some stranger's spare bedroom,
Yeah.
and I don't want to open my house to
Yeah.
some stranger. But Marriott, Airbnb, they started the number of 13 billion in 2013.
Yeah.
This year, they are going to be about 25 billion
Wow.
in valuation, so it's more than doubled.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's happened? Okay, the consumer is driving it. If we did not have the consumer who wanted that type of service, they wouldn't be as successful as they are.
Correct. Now, you mentioned earlier on the sidelines, coming back to Indonesia, it's an interesting time to be in Indonesia at the
Yes.
moment. We'll talk about that when we come back after the break.